Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities in Miniature. Today we are back with a Wargames Atlantic release. It's been a while since we've seen them here, but it's time for the Death Field and, oh crap, what a French name that is. Les Grognards. Les Grognards? Grognards? I don't know. Anyway, it's a very French-looking take on a sci-fi unit. So the Death Fields were kind of like they had the Rumjäger guys or Raumjäger, I don't know. The German dudes that were done up all sci-fi style. This box is about to burst. Enough parts for 24 models. You got some examples back here. We can build them in a variety of styles. That's actually kind of cool. 192 total heads in the box. No kidding. 4 unique heads with and without gas masks. So I'm guessing you have the bear skins, and let's see what else is in here. That's kind of cool, actually. Alright. We're going to be having some bits for days. Let's take a look at one of these head. Is that no, I was going to say wonderful facial hair, but I think that's actually a gas mask. The bear skins. You have something here. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Lapels for their jackets. Kind of doughboy looking helmet. More Napoleonic looking ones. That's pretty cool, actually. They give you, and then they get their one of these kepis, I believe. Foreign Legion style hats. So that's kind of cool. You got quite a variety there. So basically you have 3 with, 3 without gas masks on every one of those sprues. Let's take a look at the actual bodies. So they got the big greatcoats on. The body's actually one piece. It's kind of surprising. I would have expected that the torso and lower legs would have been separated, but that's actually probably better this way and keeps things a little bit more manageable in terms of having to put them all together. You've got backpacks here. More helmets, grenades, pistols, chain swords. That's kind of nice. I'm not sure what this is. Some kind of just little communication device, maybe? Random electronic bits, various pouches, holstered sword, hands doing various things for holding guns. And then we do have a couple heavy weapon options as well. So it looks like we have at least 3 basic rifles on each sprue, which isn't bad considering there are actually 3 basic bodies on each sprue. So you really are going to have a lot of options, and the arms themselves aren't overtly elaborate or, you know, super specific to them. And I'm thinking that you could probably use these for any kind of fully clothed, you know, armed soldiers in just about any other situation if they're the right scale. I think you can get a lot of mileage out of this. So you got flamers, you got grenade launchers, you got some kind of gun right here. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. Heavy machine gun maybe right here. It says on the box. Heavy plasma guns, communication packs. Do we see those? Pistols and swords. I'm assuming that every sprue is going to be the same. I could be wrong, but it just doesn't hurt to check, just in case. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. There's more in here. A lot more in here. Jeez. Okay, they really weren't kidding. You really get a lot of bang for your buck here. Okay, and as I suspected, yes, all of the sprues with the bodies are the same. Not to say that's a bad thing necessarily. I mean, the poses might get a little repetitive, but considering the amount of arms and armaments you've got there, that's actually not that big a deal. And considering as well just how many different heads you have here, I think this is going to be a godsend for converters out there, and especially if you've got access to a lot of regular, plain, generic, military-type plastic bodies. I think you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck with these. Heck, I'm tempted to try these with the new Afghans and see how those work out. Maybe have yourself some Tauren Desert Raiders or whatever they were called. Anyway, yeah, okay, so plenty of heads, plenty of bodies. It's time for us to build some and see how they turn out. Alright, we got the first of our Grognards. I'm just going to say it. Grognards! Painted up very poorly, but he's painted. And it really was just to kind of give me an idea of what I wanted to do with him. That white on his cap there is absolutely awful and really needs to be redone, but at least going forward I kind of have an idea what I want to do with the dark blues and stuff. But overall, I gotta say, really impressed with the kit. After spending some time building the Afghan warriors that Wargames Atlantic put out, obviously I started playing around with these bodies, but since these Grognards are a bit more limited in terms of how many you get in a box, I really wanted to make sure I got a lot of bang for my buck in terms of using those. So we started to build up our Foreign Legion. That's totally what I'm going to use them for. And I'll admit, I went ahead and built almost all the special weapons first, but that's just the kind of person I am. And it was nice to have a little bit of extra kit to stick on there for ammo pouches and the like. With a couple of the other helmets there. And naturally we had to build some sort of an officer type. I didn't go crazy kit bashing these guys yet. I did chop off the hilt of the blade. One thing that I was kind of disappointed about, and I've mentioned this before, I know online at least, I really would have liked to have been able to have a pistol in his offhand as well as a sword. Of course, if I had my way, I'd have swords in all their hands, and we'd have a bunch of dual-wielding, bearskin-wearing, crazed Napoleonic butchers on the table, but, you know, it is what it is. Now, how do they stack up size-wise? I'll be honest, I don't really have a lot of guard models because I've never had an interest in playing guard. You're already on a base. For whatever reason, I did not bother to base the rest of the squad on similarly sized bases. I don't know what I was thinking, but it is what it is. So grabbing a typical, or at least as close of a guard model as I've got laying around at home. It's a trader guard from Blackstone Fortress. At least it gives you some kind of an idea of what to expect size-wise. Grabbing a Marine here, obviously they're going to overpower and intimidate them. Let's see, do I have any other... You know, I don't really have a lot of modern sci-fi stuff. So in case you are curious, yeah, their heads work for both bodies. Or at least the Afghan heads work perfectly on the Wargames Atlantic ones. I tried some, and I don't know where I put them. I thought they were here. Yeah, I didn't really get a lot of time to go crazy converting. But honestly and truly, I've really liked this kit. And it gets me really excited to see what Wargames Atlantic has cooking for us, especially in terms of the Death Field stuff. My only sad disappointment is the fact that we get so few bodies in the box, especially compared to the historical stuff. Obviously, if you want to get wild converting, you are more than welcome, and I think you can definitely get your money's worth in both those cases then. However, you do have to also keep in mind that this set had all those extra heads included, both with and without gas masks. So that extra bonus sprue of all those heads definitely at least eases the pain of the cost versus quantity ratio that we've got going on there. I mean, honestly, there's so many heads in that box. Even if I don't use them all, I mean, there's just so many that for whatever odd project, I'm sure I'm going to find a use for at some point. Frostgrave or skirmish games or something. There's a lot there. So if you're curious, if you're interested, and if you really want to just have a wild time kit bashing together whatever crazy guard regiments, and maybe someday have an actual Death Fields game and legit, you know, group of Grognards there, hey, who knows? Maybe it's something that's going to be waiting for us in the future. I think it's really a fun little kit. Oh, I finally found my Maker's Cult guy. I was going to put you in too. These are 3D printed, but they work. Actually, my next step was I was going to print some parts of theirs and see how well they kit bash too. But that's a whole nother story, and we'll save that for another day. Anyways, I'll put a link down below. If you've never checked out Wargames Atlantic, do give them a look. They've got all kinds of interesting kits out now, and even more coming out in the future. With that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here soon. Bye-bye.